which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie couples with the best banter.
Let me guess, it has something to do with personal hygiene.
I wouldn't let that get in your way.
I don't let anything get in my way.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most notable romantic pairings in film whose witty, flirty, or funny conversations captivated us. Since plot points will be discussed, we're issuing a spoiler alert. Which of these duos is your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, Leilani and Gibran, the Lovebirds. Conversations between couples can be downright unpleasant at times, yet hilarious to watch as well. That's the case in this romantic comedy following a woefully incompatible pair played by Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae.
Hi, nice to meet you. We're fighting.
No, we're not. We're rehearsing a play. It's a fight scene. How's this?
It's fun,
It's fun? What do I look like, Chuck E. Cheese?
but sexy.
When Leilani and Gibran get caught up in a bitter argument that culminates in a breakup, their vehicle is commandeered by a murderer. While setting out to clear their names, the lovers gradually overcome their bickering ways.
Can we try Edie? See if she can help us?
Okay. But if you're wrong and we spend the rest of our lives on death row, I'm gonna be so pissed at you.
That's fair.
The pair's incredible comedic chemistry is clearly visible from the start. But throughout the film, their silly responses to stressful situations and clever digs at one another make them an absolute joy to watch.
Hey, you don't have a shot, just put it down.
I do have a shot.
Why are you arguing with me about this?
Because you think you're always right and you're wrong about this, okay?
I'm supposed to listen to you, someone who's never held a gun before, and I'm the know-it-all?
You refuse
Guys.
to take risks. This is a prime example.
Number 9, Woman and Man, conversations with other women. Reconnecting with an old flame is almost always a bittersweet occasion. In this romantic drama, this encounter takes the form of a truly fascinating and long conversation. Two unnamed singles run into each other at a wedding. However, we slowly learn that they're actually ex-spouses who have moved on to new relationships.
I wasn't dating anybody, so...
What about 23 on August the 12th?
Well, she was still in college.
High school more like. Oh.
Touche.
Throughout their flirty back and forth, the pair discuss how their lives have changed and go on a trip down memory lane. They only spend one night together, but we see a lifetime's worth of sparks fly.
You tolerate me because you know that I love you.
Well, yeah, even though you're just a dirty old pervert.
Yes, I am, but I'm your dirty old pervert.
While things get surprisingly deep, there's always an undercurrent of wit or humour. With naturalistic performances and meaningful meditations on life's unexpected twists, this film is as thoughtful as it is entertaining.
Why did you come? Really?
Do you want me to say I was hoping I'd see you?
Yes. And I want you to mean it.
It's so romantic.
Number 8, Sidney Ellen Wade and Andrew Shepard, the American President. Screenwriter Aaron Sorkin's signature witty dialogue takes centre stage in this romantic dramedy directed by Rob Reiner.
If you don't live up to the deal you just made, come New Hampshire, we're going to go shopping for a new candidate.
You can't do that, Sidney.
With all due respect, Mr. President, who's going to stop me?
Well, if you go through that door, the United States Secret Service.
Michael Douglas stars as a widowed US president who gets romantically involved with an environmental lobbyist, despite the political risks it entails. The couple encounters numerous obstacles, including the stature of his position and their conflicting visions for change. Yet their conversations are consistently sharp.
I can't challenge a school bully to a fight simply because he picks on my girlfriend.
No, I'm not asking you to. I can take care of myself. This isn't about me. How can you keep quiet? How do you have patience for people who claim they love America but clearly can't stand Americans?
Whether they're discussing climate change or intimacy, this highly intelligent duo's sparring is always riveting. Granted, their relationship follows a classic rom-com trajectory, but their truly one-of-a-kind dynamic makes them stand out.
Listen, I feel terrible, but I'm gonna have to cancel our date tonight.
Another woman?
No, gotta go to St. Louis to avert a massive airline strike.
Boy, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that one.
Number 7, Marilyn Hamilton, Rexroth Doyle Massey, and Miles Massey, Intolerable Cruelty. The Coen brothers aren't necessarily known for making films that sizzle with sexual tension, but this romantic comedy is definitely a major exception.
Money means independence. That's what I'm after.
What are you after, Miles?
Well, I'm a lot like you. Just looking for an ass to mouth.
George Clooney stars as a hotshot lawyer named Miles, who has patented a famously effective prenup agreement. Meanwhile, Catherine Zeta-Jones's Marilyn is a swindler in a predatory marriage. Throughout the course of the film, the two go head-to-head in a complicated game of cat and mouse.
Oh, Freddie thinks you're a buffoon. He says you've been too successful, you're bored, complacent, and you're on your way down.
But you don't think so.
How do you know?
Why would you be here?
Why did you ask me?
Can't I be curious?
About what?
Do you ever answer questions?
To you?
I'll have the tornadoes of beef. The lady will have the same, thank you.
While their interests often diverge, their attraction only grows, and their chemistry is downright electric. As such, we get to see the pair simultaneously flirt and attempt to outsmart each other. The duo's relationship takes on many different forms, but their verbal one-upmanship is always a treat to watch.
I believe I have the right to collect.
Oh.
You promised to have dinner with me once you were free.
I said I wouldn't whilst I wasn't, which implies no promise once I am.
Noted.
Number 6, Beatrice and Benedict. Much Ado About Nothing. It's no secret that Shakespeare's plays typically contain lots of clever dialogue. Kenneth Branagh's adaptation of this classic comedy understands that, and perfectly captures the haters to lovers trajectory of Benedict and Beatrice's relationship.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
When the nobleman visits Messina as part of Don Pedro's court, he encounters the governor's niece. Their mutual scorn is obvious as they exchange burns and barbs in front of a cackling audience.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and for such a face as yours were.
But even once they're persuaded by friends to fall in love, their dialogue retains its witty spark. Translating such iconic literary banter to the screen is daunting, to say the least. Yet, Emma Thompson and Kenneth Branagh make it look easy.
Poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
Number 5, Clementine Krasinski and Joel Barish, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This cerebral sci-fi dramedy tells the story of a complicated romantic relationship through a non-linear narrative.
I had you pegged, didn't I?
Yeah, the whole human race pegged.
Probably.
I still thought you were going to save my life.
When Clementine forgets Joel, literally, he decides to do the same. As he removes all traces of her from his memories though, he re-experiences important moments in their history. Thankfully, we see the couple's story play out in the process, and during a chance encounter where neither remembers the other, their chemistry is still off the charts.
I apply my personality in a paste.
Oh, I doubt that very much.
Well, you don't know me, so.
Joel's awkward and quiet nature is the perfect foil for Clementine's off-the-cuff humour. Their conversations, whether real or in Joel's head, are always enthralling to watch.
This is it, Joel. It's gonna be gone soon.
I know.
What do we do?
Enjoy it.
Number 4, Celine and Jesse, Before Sunrise. This romantic drama from director Richard Linklater is the first in his 3-part Before series. When American tourist Jesse meets a student named Celine on a train departing Budapest, the pair strike a connection, and she decides to get off the train with him in Vienna.
This is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, it's a little awkward. But it's all right, right? It's okay.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. Let's go to some places. Look at your book.
We're in Vienna. Let's go to some places.
Meandering but meaningful conversation follows, with them wandering around the city, recounting past experiences and engaging in verbal roleplay.
Because you know me, I'm the most harmless person. The only person I could really hurt is myself.
I don't think he's scared of you. I think he's crazy about you.
Co-stars Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy actually contributed numerous rewrites to this script, and it paid off, as the couple's growing relationship is utterly convincing. The actors' masterful handling of the dialogue bolsters the characters' back and forth, which is understated and thought-provoking all at the same time.
Of course I'm sick of myself. But being with you, It's made me feel like I was somebody else.
Number 3, Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, Pride and Prejudice.
Why do you ask such a question?
To make out your character, Mr. Darcy.
And what have you discovered?
Very little. To hear such different accounts of you has puzzled me exceedingly.
I hope to afford you more clarity in the future.
It should come as no surprise that an adaptation of this classic Jane Austen novel is chock full of charm and wit. This 2005 film finds protagonist Elizabeth gradually falling for her stuck-up acquaintance Mr. Darcy, and it's truly satisfying to witness. The pair aren't exactly fond of one another when they first meet, which makes for an amusing battle of words.
So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing. Even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
But things get more verbally charged after Elizabeth learns that Darcy has been speaking ill of her family. Yet through every stage of the pair's relationship, their jabs, passive-aggressive comments, and elaborate confessions are aptly timed and endlessly entertaining.
Might I ask why with so little endeavour at civility I am thus repulsed?
And I might as well inquire why, with so evident a design of insulting me, you chose to tell me that you like me against your better judgment.
No, believe me, I
if
didn't mean...
If I was uncivil, then that is some excuse, but I have other reasons, you know I have.
Number 2, Anna Scott and Will Thacker, Notting Hill. This 1999 romantic comedy was incredibly successful upon release. We'd say the irresistible rapport between its central couple had a little something to do with that.
Men went to bed with a dream and they didn't like it when they woke up with reality. Do you feel that way?
You are lovelier this morning than you have ever been.
Hugh Grant plays Will, a bookstore owner in the titular London neighbourhood. When he gets a visit from a Hollywood superstar named Anna, played by Julia Roberts, everything changes. His nervous chatter is both painfully awkward and deeply endearing, and it perfectly plays off her guarded but bold demeanour.
You said whoopsie daisies.
No one says whoopsie daisies, do they? I mean, unless...
There is no unless, because no one has said whoopsie daisies for, what, 50 years? And even then it was just little girls with blonde ringlets.
Exactly.
Their relationship spans many months, and they go through their share of rejections, betrayals, and intimate moments. But their conversations, whether charmingly bumbling or downright soul-bearing, are always riveting.
You have a stunt bottom?
Well, I could have a stunt bottom, yes.
Wow, and are people tempted to go for better bottoms than their own?
Yeah, I would.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Loretta Castorini and Ronnie Camerari, Moonstruck. There's no shortage of hilarious lines in this film where Cher and Nicolas Cage play New Yorkers having an affair.
Last night never happened, and I'm going to marry him, and you and I are going to take this to our coffins.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I'm in love with you.
Snap out of it!
Erica Barry and Harry Sanborn. Something's gotta give. It's clear that this couple is more than a match for each other.
A 30-year-old gets that.
And he falls for it.
I mean, accepts it. Acceptance is key.
Okay, if that's what you want, a non-threatening woman, doesn't get your number, you get to run the show.
I think our relationship is growing, by the way.
Alyssa Jones and Holden McNeil, Chasing Amy. Some interesting conversations take place when a lesbian and a straight man fall for each other.
So you're saying a person is a virgin until they've had intercourse with a member of the opposite sex?
Isn't that the standard definition?
Again, with your standards. I think virginity is lost when you make love for the first time.
With a member of the opposite sex?
Why?
Kathleen Kelly and Joe Fox, You've Got Mail. They're online dating, IRL business rivals, and always charming.
So now he's got 152 pock marks on his face.
The number of people who think he looks like Clark Gable.
152 people who think he looks like a Clark bar.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Sally Albright and Harry Burns, When Harry Met Sally. When it comes to movies with good conversation, few come close to this rom-com from screenwriter Nora Ephron. After graduating from college, Harry and Sally trade barbs during their drive from Chicago to New York City.
I have a number of men friends and there is no sex involved.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You only think you do.
You're saying I'm having sex with these men without my knowledge?
No, what I'm saying is they all want to have sex with you.
They do not.
Do too.
Tackling topics like whether men and women can be friends with no romantic interference, the two disagree and bother each other to no end. And it's great. Just as important, however, are the talks they have as they run into each other over the next 12 years.
What are you saying? That they fake orgasm?
It's possible.
Get out of here.
Why? Most women at one time or another have faked it.
Well, they haven't faked it with me.
How do you know?
Because I know.
With their dialogue shedding a humorous light on intimacy and relationships, the couple shares some truly iconic moments. Efron was a master of romantic banter, and this duo is definitely among her finest creations.
You say things like that and you make it impossible for me to hate you! And I hate you, Harry. I really hate you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.